Come in.
Hey, Jim.
How are you?
Pretty good. It's nice to see you
Nice to
again.
see
Rachel
you.
Gerovac with Seminole Insurance. Mind if I have a seat?
Yes, please.
Perfect. And here's my business card.
Okay,
Do you mind
thank
if I
you
grab
very
one
much.
first?
No, not at all.
Perfect. So again,
There
it's
you
so
go.
great to see you again. I know we met over at the Boosters, and that was a great event.
Yes.
So before we get started, I just want to let you know. So I've been with this company for a little over a year,
Okay.
and my first client that I ever had was a lot like yours from what we talked about.
Okay.
They were a painting company, and they had a bunch of shelving, obviously with paint everywhere. And
Okay.
this is actually them. This is Pat and Left.
Okay.
And they had this one incident where a shelf fell, and it really did impact one of their employees, and they
Wow.
thought they were covered on it. And
Yeah.
take a guess, they weren't.
Oh man.
It was pretty bad, yeah. So that's when I came in, and unfortunately it was a little too late, but since I was able to step in afterwards, I'm there to protect them from what could possibly go wrong.
Okay.
And now they can focus on, the things that can better them, what makes them better, and their revenues, getting new clients. So that's basically what I want to do for you today. We
Okay.
want to go over a few things, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, ask you a few questions, and is 15 minutes still okay with you?
Yes, 15 minutes.
Perfect. So what we're going to do, like I said, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. It's
Okay.
kind of the map that we're going to go over just so I have everything organized.
Okay.
So first, let's start off. Is there anybody else that would be involved in this decision-making process? Maybe Mona?
Yeah, so Mona definitely would involve. Unfortunately, she just had things going on today where she couldn't be in this meeting. But for sure, she would be involved with reviewing everything and all of the details. Yes.
Okay, most definitely. So since she is involved in the process,
Mhm.
what is kind of your timeline with looking to implement this? Is there a new policy renewal coming up soon?
Yeah, so I think we're looking for something pretty fast. We've had some issues with our current broker where he's not getting back to us, and we have some immediate things with like the floors and walls company that we just started that we really need to get some answers from pretty fast and know if we have insurance coverage or not.
Okay, definitely. And when you look for a company like us, kind of
Yeah.
like an insurance company, what is it that you're looking for in particular?
Well, we had a bad experience, not with the current broker, but before, where we had a big loss, and it was when my father was still running everything, but we had fire and
Oh, wow.
a huge loss with inventory, and there was no coverage, and
If
so
you don't mind me asking, how big was that
it was
loss?
like $100,000.
Wow.
I mean, it was, yeah. And so it really just stressed out my family, it stressed out my father, my mother, Mona and I. And so we really are particular on, are things going to be covered? Are they not? Who is actually, what insurance company is going to pay for it and how that works.
Okay, so you said $100,000. How did that impact your company?
Oh gosh, it was huge. I mean, my father was stressed out. He thought he was going to do so much in revenue and everything. And then when you got to kind of fit that in unexpectedly,
Really
it
puts you
just,
back.
yes.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I've seen that before, and I just don't want that to happen to you
Yeah,
guys
neither
again.
do we, yes.
Yeah, so let's kind of get into it a little bit. You mentioned that you have a new broker, you haven't really gotten back to it. The first thing that I do when I work with a company is I go over all of their contracts, their policies, make sure everything is perfect so I know everything that I have to talk to them about.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about that and how your contracts are going, how your broker's handling all that.
Well, I mean, I think we have some things in place. I don't know about everything. Again, we have reached out to him, Don, and he doesn't seem to get back to us.
His name is Don.
Don.
Okay.
And so we're just kind of in the dark with some of these items that we really need answers.
What type of items are you in the dark with?
So one of the things that really concerned me is we have a lease on this space right here, the showroom,
Okay.
and we spent $100,000, and I wanted to know for sure if something were to happen to the space, who would build it back up to the way it is today. Our current broker said that the building owner would do that. And so do you know, is that true? If this place got fire, would the building owner be responsible? Would we? Or
Has he looked over the lease?
I've
verified
seen
it?
the lease, but I don't know.
So he hasn't gotten back to you with the lease yet?
Yeah, I mean, he said that the building owner would cover it, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Definitely. So like I said, one of the first things I do is I look over all the policies and contracts. So that is the first thing I would do for you as well.
Okay.
So I would 100% go through everything and let you know. I can't say for sure right now if it would or not because I haven't seen your personal contract with them. But that's something we can figure out in the future. And for the next meeting, I can bring that back to you.
Okay.
Does that sound good with you?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So you said you spent $100,000 on it and you're kind of concerned that you might not get that back. What would happen if you didn't?
Oh, I mean, again, it would just be, we would have to, I mean, not only just the time of not having a showroom, but then the investment of building it back, we would just have to scrape and scrimp to find the money to do that. But it would definitely impact sales and everything.
Yeah, most definitely. And how much would that impact your sales?
I mean, it depends on how long we would be out of business, but I mean, I would think it would have a significant impact.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's something that, for a business you can't really afford.
No.
So moving on, you said that you were kind of concerned about adding your flooring and wall company and the tiles. Do you want to expand on that a little bit for me?
Yeah, so we started a new company that basically cleans carpets and everything and installs wallpaper called Floors and Walls. They're sharing the space, so they don't have any different, space or anything. But it is a new company. We don't know, what type of coverage we even need. We have people, going out and cleaning things, and it's a separate entity, so I mean, we don't know. We don't know if we have a policy. I haven't seen any policies with their name on it or anything
So that's
like that.
what I was about to ask you. You're not sure if you have a policy if it connects with your current one.
Yes.
Okay, and has your broker gone over that with you at all?
We've reached out to him, but we've just gotten no response.
Okay, and how long have you been reaching out to him for it?
Oh gosh, it's been now it's probably been a couple of months.
A couple months. Wow. And what would have happened if something tragic happened or you had some sort of claim in that few months?
Yeah, I mean,
How would that impact
I
you?
hope our current policy would cover it.
Yeah, you hope, and that's the key word there, hope.
Yes.
And I know I've worked with a lot of companies, and something has happened, and they thought they were, like I said earlier, with Pat and Lef, and so that's something you definitely do want to get figured out sooner rather than later. Have you ever had an issue or any claims in the past?
Just that really bad one that I mentioned before.
The fire?
Yeah, but since then we haven't had too many claims. No.
Okay, yeah, most definitely. So what would it mean to you if you did have a faster response time with all of the different claims?
No, I mean, that would be, with claims and just questions like this, I mean, it would be great. I mean, that's why we're looking, someone like you or someone else to really provide that.
Definitely, I'm glad we did set up this meeting.
Yeah.
So we talked about a few things. You're leasing and you're adding the tiles and the floors. Is there anything else that comes in mind that might be of a concern for you or something that you kind of want clarified?
Yeah, we have equipment that's in the warehouse. We have that separate warehouse.
Yeah, definitely. You were telling me about that the other day.
The equipment, comes in and out. It goes into trucks. Some of the equipment is, it doesn't cost much, but we have like these cutters and other things that I see them left at job sites sometimes. I see them just left in the van, and I get we're all human and things happen, but I don't know what would happen. I mean, the cutter would take a little while to get a new one in. They're expensive. So,
and how much would you say the most expensive type of items that you have are? You said some aren't expensive, but some are.
Yeah, so probably the most expensive would be around $10,000.
Wow, and that's just per person having it, or
per team? So we divide up the installers in
your team of four, right?
There's 3 people and on 4 different teams. Yes.
Wow. Okay, so even if you just have you ever had a problem or something with
We
someone?
haven't, but I'm kind of a stickler for those things, so I want them to be in order, so we have the inventory checkout and everything, but. I know things happen. I just want to make sure we can get back to working if something unfortunately did happen.
Definitely, $10,000 is a lot for one piece of equipment.
Yes.
So that would obviously impact your company greatly. How would you bounce back from that? Would you have to buy a new?
We'd have to buy a new one, and it would just come out of our general fund. But more importantly, maybe would even be that installing crew wouldn't be able to work for those times, and we'd have to somehow shift around schedules, and it just would not be fun for an avoidable or hopefully something that we have insurance for.
Would that take away from something from a different area of the company where you need that money from?
It could, absolutely. Such as the tile installation, or we couldn't accept as many jobs or something along those lines.
Okay, yeah, that could definitely be a huge problem. So what if you were able to find insurance? Would that put you at ease?
Oh, for sure, yeah. And we may have insurance, I just don't know.
Okay.
That's something that we've reached out to.
So you still don't know about that either.
Yes.
So basically what I'm gathering from all this is your main concern is you just don't know at this point what is covered and what is not,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we did go over a few things today. I just want to kind of briefly go over it again, just to make sure we covered it. So the leasing. You're not sure if everything's covered. What would happen if you lost that $100,000? That could be a major issue for you. On top of that, you're adding your floors in your walling company, and who knows if that's covered. We have to look over that.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, losing one piece of equipment for $10,000, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you put that in perspective and how it can affect another another aspect of the company, would you agree that that's just detrimental to them?
Yes.
Perfect. So then on top of that, just overall response time.
Yes.
So with that in mind, would you be interested in learning a little bit more about Seminole Insurance, kind of going a little bit deeper?
Yeah, I think so. So tell me just about your experience.
Most definitely. What do you want to know?
How long you've been doing this? Why do you do it?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. And, a lot of people do ask me.
Okay.
So one thing I do want to show you is this is actually my, this is not it, but this is my diploma from Florida State.
Okay.
If you see here, I was actually just about to tell you, we are the 7th ranked different insurance program in the nation, which is amazing. And we're also with risk insurance, or risk management insurance.
Okay.
So I went the extra mile. Instead of just being certified in general insurance, being a broker, I took the extra studying I could do, and I can be your risk manager as well, as long as you're broker, as well as your broker. So like I said, we are graduated. I did graduate in the 7th top nation.
Okay.
Does that make you feel a little bit better?
I think so. I think too, just your experience in dealing with losses or other things, as we get into this more would be helpful.
And I made a copy as well. This is my certificate.
Okay.
We went through extensive training programs in school and with the company as well.
Okay.
All right, so I'll leave this here for you so you can take a look at it later.
Okay.
Another thing I do want to point out about our company, though, we are the #1 insurance company here in Tallahassee.
Okay.
I'm there for you whenever you want. So with Seminole Insurance, I brought you a brochure. You can check this out later. I'll leave with you.
All right.
You can look in here. It'll actually tell you that we have a 90% customer retention rate.
Okay.
Now, would you agree if our customers weren't satisfied with our, all of our services, they wouldn't keep coming back to us?
I would agree with that.
Most definitely. And that's what I want to implement for you. I want to make sure that you're happy with everything that you do receive from us.
Okay.
So, remember that company I was telling you about earlier today, the painting company?
Yes.
Well, I actually brought a testimonial from them and a case study you can look over later.
Okay.
So that claim that they had, ever since then, since I've been working with them, it'll say here that we've reduced their losses by 30%.
Wow, that's
which is
huge.
a pretty good percentage.
Yeah.
So if you want to take a look at this later, I would really appreciate that. They said you can give them a call, shoot them an email if you have any questions about our services, and they'd be glad to answer any questions.
So, when you reduce a loss, or their losses by 30%, does that mean that the price of all this stuff goes down by 30%?
So, what are your prices right now, if you know what I'm asking?
I don't know the exact amount, but I do know it's a significant budget item for us that, every year that we look at and everything like that. And I just, with some of the things we talked about, I don't know if it's adding new things or what, but, the price is definitely a concern for us.
Okay, so price is a concern. And I can't give you exact price right now, just because I don't know exactly what you need and what we can provide for you. So how about this? I'm going to go back to my team. I have a full team behind me supporting me 100%.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to them a little bit, see what their thoughts are. And maybe next week, Wednesday at 10, I can meet up with both you and Mona and have everything laid out. I will have all the policies and the contracts if you would like to send that over to me, and we'll take a look at that.
Okay.
How does that sound for you?
I think that sounds good. I'll have to double check with Mona's schedule, but I mean, that makes sense to see what you can offer and see if we're covered or not, because we need to get some answers.
Most definitely. And you said, you've been out of the loop for months, and I want to make sure that I can put you back into that loop as fast as I can and make sure that you are able to focus on the things that you can improve within your company. So Wednesday at 10 sounds good for you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, most definitely. And if you could send over those contracts for me, I would absolutely love that.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
All right, and I'm going to leave this for you here so you can take a look with Mona later. Well, thank you so much, Jim. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Good job.
Thanks. That was nerve-wracking.
Is this your first time doing this? Or?
No, I'm on the sales team, so we do that for, all the sales things. This is my first time in insurance, so it's a little different. But I really like it. I'm trying to go into insurance once I graduate.
Good for you.
Yeah, I really do. It's an interesting source.
You did a good job controlling the sales deal and everything like that and moving everything along.
Any tips? How much time
no, I think, in a normal environment, just trying to uncover more. But you had only 15 minutes. So,
it's so hard with 15
yes,
minutes.
I know. Especially with something like that's complicated and you want to relate back to emotion, you try to relate it back to dollars and the pain and stuff like that. So I think you did an awesome job with that.
I always freak out because they always try. I'm so afraid they're going to hit me with an objection in the last minute. So I always try and make sure I finish early.
Yeah, you did a good job because I was trying to even figure out what do I hit her with the experience objection. So you did a great job in the front, already laying out to not do that. So yeah.
All right. I'm sweating the whole time. This is the most nervous I've ever been for a role. Just because it's insurance and I don't.
You just don't know that.
I don't know. Yeah. At this point, but I know there wasn't that much that kind of went into it. So.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. No, you did good. So are you taking any insurance classes now?
No, I'm not. I'm a double major in sales and management.
And management. Okay.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I would have gone insurance, but I got into it. Do you know Madison Knowles?
I do not.
Okay. Well, she got me into insurance. And
okay.
So it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yes, you can do very well.
I
in
know, that's
insurance
what I heard
sales.
too.
Yeah.
So what company do you work for?
I work for a company called the National Alliance, and we actually do education and training in insurance.
Okay.
So not a broker or anything like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Cool.
So we partner with Florida State in a lot of different
How'd you
things.
get into that?
My father founded our company, and so that's how I got in.